Hi, and good day, everyone. I'm Dr. Marlene KOLODZIEJ. I'm the Vice President of Centralized Services for Ricoh USA. I'm so glad you can join me today for this session on exploring the role of organizational competencies in information technology outsourcing. It's a holistic case study on decision making for outsourcing of cloud-based services. So I'm going to go ahead and share my presentation with you, and we'll get right to it. Terrific. So before I get into our presentation today, I'd like to tell you a little bit about Ricoh. It is an information management and digital services company. Traditionally, we were thought of as a printer or a hardware-based company, but we're really transforming into the digital age today. And around the world, we serve approximately 1.4 million businesses. And really for us, it's about connecting processes and technology and helping people work smarter and making data accessible to people faster and with more insight than ever before. So last year, I had the opportunity to publish research on outsourcing to the cloud and how executive decision makers make those decisions in terms of identifying core and non-core competencies during that process. So we first had to define the business problem, which was how do executive decision makers anticipate and really truly understand the implications of their IT outsourcing decisions as it relates to the long-term processes, their organizational capabilities, and the performance of their organization. And so the purpose was to really take a close look at the decision-making processes and really how do executives and those executive decision makers use criteria to identify and select what competencies for their organization to outsource when engaging in that process for cloud-based services. So we had to really ask the question, how do executive decision makers describe that process? And how do they follow that process to identify and select those competencies for consideration as part of that IT outsourcing engagement when outsourcing to the cloud? Well, we had to break down the research questions. And the first research question was not only to describe the criteria for selecting those competencies as they outsource to the cloud, but as the second part is what's the methodology that they use? How do they anticipate those long-term impacts? How do they know what impact their decisions have on their processes, on the organizational capabilities, and on the performance of their teams? And then how did they think about, or what did they observe when they actually outsourced to the cloud? And then how did that outsourcing differ in terms of the impact to what they expected to happen than to what actually happened when they went through the outsourcing engagement and process? So to break it down, what we found was selecting the organizational competencies is really based on the need for more security or to address regulatory or compliance requirements, maybe to fill a gap for application support, and increase the capabilities that they just didn't have within their organization and their team. And then the competencies that they selected were not core to their business, meaning this isn't their secret sauce. This isn't what they were really good at. These were competencies that could be found outside of their company. And it didn't lead to actually having to create or develop new products and new services. And then the decision models that were used were a little bit of intuition and a little bit of common sense, a little bit of formal models. And so it really was a combination of that sort of formalized review of all the data, along with, hey, I kind of feel like, or this kind of, I know this, or my experience tells me. And then these executive decision makers, as part of that IT outsourcing, were able to redeploy their internal resources. And as a key outcome, which was anticipated as part of that process. And then certainly they found there was a need to create contingencies when outsourcing to the cloud for their solutions. So as we continue going through the summary of findings, we also noticed that there were security and risk management that needed to be accounted for, that some of the participants felt that what they anticipated as an outcome was actually different, and it resulted in a negative experience for them. And certainly communication was key. Effective communication with the outsourcing provider was found as an outcome. And it's not just, I mean, it sounds so obvious, but it goes deeper than that, around how they communicated, what the expectations were, how often they had a conversation. What was also interesting is the previous experience, the outsourcing to the cloud, and the more experience you had, the more successful your subsequent engagements were. We found that when people were inexperienced, not just outsourcing in general, but outsourcing to the cloud, it was more likely to have a failure or to have a more of a challenge when actually engaging in that experience. But the more they did it, the more successful subsequent engagements were. And the amount of vendor management is usually underestimated. So that goes back to the communication with the outsourcing vendor and setting those expectations. It's also around setting the expectations on how you manage the vendor and how much time is needed on your side to manage the vendor. And then certainly the knowledge transfer to that outsourcer took much longer than was expected or anticipated. So the expected outcome was certainly a reduction of total costs, right? That was the main driver that people found, was reducing their costs to provide a service. But then they also found there were unexpected costs in other areas, and that they're using outsourcing to the cloud to increase their speed to market. But the lack of those resources provided by the outsourcing provider had a negative impact to move their daily operational tasks. So what they meant was, when they couldn't find quality people, quality resources on the outsourcing provider, especially for specific tasks that were key to the engagement, they weren't able to move those operational tasks to the provider. And so there were subsequent delays to additional work that needed to be accomplished. And then the processes that worked before didn't work after they moved to the cloud. It's not a one-to-one transfer. So there was work that needed to take place to create new processes or to adjust existing processes in order to make them work once it was moved to the cloud. So there were some unexpected findings. And there were two major differences in these unexpected findings. One was that there was a difference between male and female participants in their perception of the outcome for their IT outsourcing engagement. And then the second one was that there were financial model implications for IT outsourcing to cloud-based services. So here's the example for the financial piece, is that normally when you have say a data center or a large implementation, let's use servers as an example in that data center, it's generally a capital expense. When you move to the cloud, that capital expense changes to an operating expense. And there were a number of engagements that just didn't anticipate that change. And then there were contrasting perspectives based on gender for an IT outsourcing engagement. We found that females actually perceive their IT outsourcing engagement not as successfully as their male counterparts, regardless of the outcome. Meaning that if you looked at all of the outcomes for IT outsourcing engagements and they were all equal, the females perceived the results of their IT outsourcing engagement as less successful. I think that would be an interesting area to pursue as a study. So how did it contribute to the business problem that we specified initially? Well, we know that executive decision makers use their intuition and understand those competencies that make their organization successful. And they also know that those core competencies shouldn't be outsourced. And these executive decision makers target the use of the cloud to either build up internal competencies that they already have or add new competencies that they don't have, but yet are needed to make themselves successful and competitive in their business landscape. Executive decision makers, though, in US-based multinational corporations can't really articulate well or clearly define the methods that they use to make those decisions or how they select those organizational competencies as part of those IT outsourcing engagements to the cloud. So while these executive decision makers use methods and data, and this is what we were told, but the research shows that it's really more intuition based. It's more based on feeling, and it's more based on understanding their organizations and what would work well, both adding from a competency perspective to their organization, as well as moving from a competency perspective to the cloud. Retaining in-house knowledge and ensuring that internal resources function as subject matter experts held a key strategic advantage. And that had implications on the long-term impact of those decisions to outsource to the cloud for these organizations. And that executive decision makers not only need to plan and anticipate the need to develop those clear objectives and deliverables, but they have to focus on that organizational alignment and communication between themselves and the outsourced provider to have an effective outsourcing engagement. So in conclusion, by being able to identify that gap in competencies, whether it's competencies that are needed or competencies that they have and they want to move, they use the cloud to strengthen or add. And that helps these companies remain competitive. Executive decision makers are able to use their intuition to identify those non-core competencies. And we're talking about operational competencies, architecture design, simple sales management, and even supporting corporate systems can be targeted very easily for cloud outsourcing. And then identifying those competencies to outsource is really informal. And there's formal processes such as multi-criteria decision-making to select externally for the cloud-based service provider, but they can't articulate and define the decision-making criteria that they use to select the competencies to consider as the ITO engagement. And then more experienced executive decision makers have with outsourcing, and we said this a little earlier, the more successful that engagement will be. So I appreciate you spending a few minutes with me today, and I'd love to hear your questions. And I want to thank you for attending my session today. I do have some research I have my fully published information that you can find out on the web, as well as my email address. But thank you again for attending. I appreciate your time today.